It's been a few months now since the Conservatives and Lib Dems have been in coalition. Are you comfortable with it?
On the whole, yeah. I mean, obviously there are you've got reservations, but it's still actually early days. I think. I mean, the first 100 days, well, it's nothing, is it? You know, we're into the silly season, as you know, it's termed very often, and you can see that by the much of the stuff that comes on the national media. It's without substance, and, as regards the political situation. But on the whole, yeah, I'm comfortable.
Why?
I've been thinking about this actually, as I guess you might be asking me that. And I suppose you can make of this what you will, but you know the expression, it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all, and you can make of that what you will, but I think we have had so far a once in a lifetime opportunity to get liberal policies that we have been pushing for decades into the government programme. And of course you pay the price of what's what I'm looking for, compromise, and you must have learned to grit your teeth with some things. But on the whole, I think the progress that the Liberal partner in the coalition has made is actually quite amazing. It's not the impression that comes over in the national media. I think there are. I'm not one. I'm the last to actually subscribe to conspiracy theories, but there are very many elements that don't want to see the coalition succeed. Apart from the opposition of political parties, elements within the coalition partner parties that don't want the coalition to succeed, and within both, be upfront about it. More predominantly from the Conservative side, I think, on the right of that party, and there are some elements within the Lib Dems who I suspect would like to see the coalition fail. But
some people say that the backlash would start at grassroots level. Now here in this ward there was a by-election. You won, but with a reduced majority. Would you say that's significant at all?
No. The fact that we won was very significant because this ward in question, Nethermain Ward, has been associated with the Williamses for getting on for 20 years. It's just been a Williams ward. My wife was the third Williams to come in 4 years ago, and it has been something of a standing joke amongst other councillors. You know, it's the Williams fiefdom, and we nailed that as not an untruth, but certainly as not the basis for our success. And I was very pleased that we won, and won with an ample margin, because we won it on the basis of our record as councillors, rather than on the record of being the Williams family.
But what would there be a tipping point in respect to the coalition? Would there be a certain policy, or we look to October and a spending review? Would something come up and Lib Dems say enough?
No, that may well be. Could also happen from the other way around. But yeah, I mean, I don't deny that point may come. I'm not foreseeing it at the moment, because, as I said earlier, you know, I'm personally reasonably comfortable at the moment with what is happening. But what that tipping point might be, I wouldn't like to say. I mean, I don't. If there was total rejection or reneging on the reforms to Parliament, for example, I could see that that may well be a tipping point. I think if there was watering down of environmental aspects of policy, which, you know, so far I've had a reasonable shout in what's been going on. I mean, I think a lot of Lib Dem supporters went into the coalition in the expectation, perhaps, that you know, we were going to get everything through that we wanted. Well, you know, that's not the nature of coalition. It's not the nature of compromise. But as I said earlier, you know, I would rather see us in a position of actually implementing some Liberal policy within 5 years, or less if it collapses before then, than not to have had that opportunity at all.
Labour are saying or spinning that a lot of Lib Dems are flocking to their party. How do you react to that?
Well, if so, I don't know where it's happening. I'm not just saying that we have had no sign of that in this particular constituency. Well, it's obvious that we're not the strongest Liberal Democrat area anyway, but in fact our numbers have continued, albeit at quite a low level, but they have actually continued to increase since the election. We haven't lost members; we've actually gained members since the formation of the coalition.
But can you understand how some people, you know, when you talk about bedfellows or natural political bedfellows,
Oh,
and you look at yourselves, and you look at Stephen Metcalfe or Jackie Doyle-Price or Mike Revel, and don't think, they just don't look like a coalition to me. If you took it at grassroots level, can you accept that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, here at grassroots level on Basildon Council, I mean, there's no way that we could ever be bedfellows with the current Conservatives who run the council. I mean, we consider ourselves an opposition party, and we are, you know. And we as a small group of 3 councillors tend to vote still more with Labour than we do with the Conservatives. That's not necessarily on ideological grounds. It just happens to be the way that it works, that both the opposition groups are opposed to what the Conservatives are doing, you know.